Welcome to today's video. In this video, we will explore a miraculous story about a woman who passed away and the wonderful things that Jesus opened her eyes to see. He gave her a glimpse of heaven, the place He has prepared for all of us. This is a meaningful near-death experience that brings hope and faith in life after departure. Stay tuned to witness this miracle. If you find this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below the video. In a small coastal village, where the waves crash against the shore day and night, lived a woman named Lily Anderson. She was a simple, down-to-earth woman, always carrying a strong belief in life. Every morning, she woke up early to prepare breakfast for her family, care for her young children, and help the villagers whenever they needed it. She loved farming, her hands often grasping a hoe to till the soil, plant crops, and nurture her flourishing vegetable garden. Each day, Lily found joy in the little things around her. Though her life was never extravagant, she felt happiness in what she had, surrounded by her loved ones. But one day, as the rain poured down and the village was shrouded in the cold embrace of winter, an awful illness struck, quickly draining Lily's strength. A high fever and persistent cough kept her bedridden. Her body grew weaker and weaker, and the sharp pains that came in waves made her want to surrender. Her family had taken her to see many doctors, but none could offer any hope. Even the most experienced doctors in the area could do nothing but shake their heads, helplessly informing her that she had only a few days left to live. Lily lay on her hospital bed, feeling each weak breath she took, the relentless pain coursing through her, her mind foggy and unable to think clearly. Her thoughts began to fade away, and memories of her family, of the joyful days in the village, slowly blurred. She felt like a leaf being swept away by the wind, unable to hold on to anything. At times, she just wanted to close her eyes and fall asleep, but her heart was filled with a strange belief that even though departure was drawing near, there was still something in this life that held meaning, something she couldn't fully understand yet. But in that moment, when the moment of parting seemed near, Lily didn't feel fear. She had lived an imperfect life, one filled with hardships and challenges, but also one full of love and dedication to her family and those around her. Every day, she tried to live life to the fullest, even though things didn't always go the way she had hoped. She believed that there was a world beyond this one, where all suffering would come to an end, a place where love and peace would last forever, and where she would be reunited with the loved ones she had lost. That belief was the only thing that helped her overcome the fear in the final moments of her life. One evening, as night fell and the hospital room became eerily quiet, a warm light suddenly enveloped Lily. She felt that this light was not coming from somewhere distant, but rather, it seemed to be a part of her, as though some miracle was unfolding. This sensation was not frightening, on the contrary, it brought a sense of relief and peace to her heart. Her body, which had been worn out and in pain, suddenly felt weightless. Her mind spun, yet she no longer felt any pain. It felt as though all the suffering had left her. It was as if she were floating out of her own body, transcending the physical and the limitations of time. The space around her seemed to change, as if she were entering a new place, a magical realm where there was no suffering or worry. And then, she closed her eyes, as if stepping into a wonderful dream. As Lily slowly opened her eyes, she immediately realized that she was no longer lying in the cold, sterile hospital room. The pain, exhaustion, and feelings of despair seemed to have completely disappeared, leaving no trace behind. Instead, she found herself in a completely different place, a space unlike anything she had ever imagined. Before her was an expansive sky, vast and endless, painted in the brightest and most vibrant colors she had ever seen in the most beautiful dreams. The sunlight poured down, but it was not the scorching heat she had experienced on Earth. It was a soft, warm light, radiating through the space and filling her with an overwhelming sense of peace and tranquility, as though she were being gently wrapped in a loving embrace. She turned her head, and before her stood a long, winding path, surrounded by trees unlike anything she had ever seen. The leaves were lush and green, soft to the touch, and they shimmered in a way that was unlike anything from Earth. Along the path, vibrant flowers bloomed in colors she had never imagined. These flowers sparkled like precious jewels, reflecting the sunlight and adding a mystical glow to the scene. The fragrance of the flowers was intoxicating, filling the air with a sweet aroma that seemed to soothe her very soul, as if each petal carried a message of comfort and peace. The surrounding space was quiet and serene, yet brimming with life. With every step Lily took, she felt as if her feet barely touched the ground, as though she were gliding through the air. The sense of freedom and lightness washed over her, and it felt as though she were flying, unburdened by time or space. Each step seemed to open a new world, one more beautiful than anything she had ever experienced. As she continued along the path, a warm, gentle voice echoed from afar, making her heart stop for a moment. "Welcome to this place, Lily." The voice was unlike any she had ever heard. It was filled with love and tenderness, like a wave of soothing energy that eased every worry in her heart. Lily turned around, and from the shadows, a figure emerged, stepping out from a distant light. The man wore a pure white robe, the edges of the fabric fluttering gently in the wind, as though his garment was a part of this mystical realm. His face was kind and full of love, with every feature radiating peace and understanding. But it was his eyes that caught her attention the most. Those eyes were not just eyes, but windows to another world, a world where all sorrow, pain, and fear had come to an end. Lily, stunned and unable to believe her eyes, looked at the man with astonishment and awe. "Is it really you, Jesus?" she exclaimed, her voice filled with disbelief and wonder. The man smiled gently, and the light from his face shone brightly, illuminating the space around them. That light did not only come from him but from his very being, like an infinite and pure source of energy. "Yes, my beloved. I have waited for you for a long time," Jesus said, his voice deep and warm, carrying an unconditional love that enveloped her completely. Lily felt the infinite love that emanated from him, as if all her pain, all her suffering from her life on earth, had been completely soothed in this moment. She felt as though she were standing in the most beautiful place, where all fear, sorrow, and darkness had vanished, and in that instant, she knew this was where she truly belonged, a place where love and peace would reign forever. Lily felt as if she had stepped into another realm, a world unlike anything she had ever known. Every step she took along the long path was never tiring, but instead, it felt light and effortless, as though she were walking on air. The path, though long, did not feel distant or difficult to travel. Instead, each step she took seemed to glide over the earth, as if the atmosphere itself was a part of eternal life, free from the limitations of time and space. Surrounding her, the scenery was beautiful beyond words, but what struck Lily the most was the sense of complete tranquility, and absolute peace. She felt as though she was becoming one with everything, a part of an endless existence, with no worries, no fears, and nothing that could cause her exhaustion. Every light, every gentle breeze, made her feel alive, as if this place was beyond anything she could have ever imagined. Lily turned to look at Jesus, and in that moment, she felt a profound peace deep within her. She couldn't help but ask, her voice filled with curiosity, "What is heaven, Lord?" Her eyes were bright, full of trust and anticipation, seeking to understand more. Jesus smiled gently, and his gaze was filled with infinite love, as though every word he spoke was enveloped in warmth and comfort. "Heaven is the place where every soul will find perfect peace. It is where pain and loss no longer exist. It is the place where all that you love will never be separated from you again. Heaven is the reunion of all souls, embraced in the arms of love and tranquility." He spoke these words with a soothing tone, like a melody of comfort, causing Lily to feel deeply that this was the place she truly belonged. A place where there was no suffering, no fear, and where love was eternal. As Lily continued to walk through the beautiful gardens, she could feel the air around her was completely different, fresh, vibrant, and full of life. The trees stood tall, their branches reaching towards the sky, casting wide, welcoming shadows, while the flowers bloomed in a spectrum of colors, roses as deep red as love, and pure white blossoms that seemed to glow. All of them shimmered under the soft light of a sun that never seemed to set. The fragrance of these flowers filled the air, making Lily feel light, calm, and at peace, as if she had stepped into a world untouched by worry or sorrow. She heard soft, angelic voices singing in the distance, and as she turned, she saw the angels. They were dressed in pure white robes, with wings that sparkled like halos of light. They floated gracefully in the air, their movements like stars dancing across the heavens. The melodies they sang weren't ordinary music, they were sweet, otherworldly harmonies, filled with longing, praise for life, peace, and boundless love. The whole space seemed enveloped in a magical glow, where everything harmonized perfectly, like a magnificent symphony of love and light. The sky above was clear, without a cloud in sight, just an endless expanse of deep blue. There was no sign of storms or any darkness. The entire space sparkled, as if every star had gathered there, casting a miraculous light upon the earth. Lily felt as if she were floating, weightless, without fear or worry, as if she were living in a dream more beautiful than any she had ever dared to imagine. This was a perfect world, a place without pain or sorrow, only peace, love, and eternal light. Suddenly, as Lily stood in the stillness of the radiant space, she felt a shift in the atmosphere around her. The light that had been surrounding her became brighter, more vibrant, as if the universe itself was opening up to her. And then, from the distance, a massive door slowly began to appear, standing out against the mysterious surroundings, causing her heart to race. This was not an ordinary door like any she had seen before. This door was made of shimmering jade, its light emanating not just as illumination, but as a force of mystical energy. The carvings on the door were intricate and exquisite, depicting angels in flight and rays of light tracing delicate patterns, creating an image so beautiful that it seemed as if she were standing before a masterpiece of the universe. The door was not shut tight, but open just enough to reveal a faint glow, pouring out a gentle light that seemed to promise something greater. It was not merely a door but a gateway to a realm that could only be imagined in fairy tales or the most wonderful of dreams. Every detail of the door seemed to invite Lily to come closer. Lily felt her heart begin to beat faster, the rhythm of her pulse quickening with anticipation. She stepped closer, but she couldn't quite understand why this door radiated such a powerful energy, an energy that was both magnetic and comforting at the same time. This was a door that not only led to a physical space but opened into a concept of eternity, a place where there was no end, where all pain, suffering, and worry would never exist again. It promised a new world, a world of everlasting peace and boundless love. As the door slowly opened wider, the light behind it began to glow more brightly, as if every star in the universe had gathered at that one point. The light was not harsh or blinding, but it was soft and soothing, spreading a peaceful energy like the breath of the cosmos itself. Lily felt her heart being gently soothed, as if she had never known true peace before. When she looked into the space beyond the door, everything seemed to merge together in a dance of infinite tranquility. There was no time, no suffering, no pain, only peace. It was a world where all souls found eternal peace, where every moment was filled with love and harmony. Jesus stood beside the door, his gaze warm and filled with love, as though he was the light guiding her through the threshold of this new existence. His eyes looked at Lily with a deep understanding, as though he knew every detail of what she had experienced in her life. He gently asked, "This is the gateway to eternity, Lily. Do you wish to step through and live forever in this peace?" His question echoed softly in the quiet space, reverberating in Lily's heart. She could feel the warmth in each word he spoke, not just as an invitation, but as an understanding of all the challenges and suffering she had endured. This was not just a simple choice, it was an eternal decision, a call to enter a world where love and peace reigned, where everything was perfect and unchanged, a world where she could live forever in the unconditional love of God. Lily stood still, her eyes fixed on the eternal door in front of her. Her heart raced in her chest, not out of fear, but from a complex, conflicting feeling inside her. The door opened into a beautiful world, a paradise filled with light and peace, but deep in her heart, there was a sensation she couldn't quite describe, as though a part of her soul didn't want to leave this world behind. She thought of her family, of the loved ones still living on earth, the people she had cared for and loved through the years. She recalled every moment with her husband and children, and she felt a pang of longing, a tug of her heart. The mornings when she woke up early to prepare breakfast for the family, the nights she sat by the fire telling her children their favorite stories. Her husband's smiles, the affectionate glances from her children, those simple moments, yet filled with so much love, now seemed so distant, but at the same time, they felt nearer than ever. She couldn't bear to let go of those sweet memories, those cherished images that she had spent her entire life creating. Lily felt her eyes well up with tears, but she didn't cry. Instead, she stood there, as if trying to stretch this moment, where she could balance the choice between a wonderful paradise and the deep feelings she had for her family. She wanted to step through the door and live forever in peace, but at the same time, she couldn't bear to leave everything she loved behind. It seemed as though every part of her was at war, unsure of what to do next. Lily slowly opened her eyes once more. A warm, gentle feeling enveloped her, so different from the cold and pain she had felt in the hospital. As her eyes adjusted to the soft light around her, she realized she was no longer lying on a hard hospital bed. Instead, she was in a peaceful space, like a cozy room bathed in a gentle glow from the window. More importantly, she sensed the presence of her loved ones, the people she had cared for and cherished all her life. Her husband, Mark, was sitting beside her, holding her hand tightly as if he never wanted to let go. The wrinkles on his face showed the worry and sadness he had carried over the past few days. Their children, Emma and Jack, stood close by the bed, their eyes filled with concern but also with hope. Lily could feel their love and care through every glance, every kind word they spoke. They had not left her side, and that made her heart feel warmer than ever. In that moment, Lily suddenly realized a deep truth. Although heaven was a place of immense peace and beauty, her mission was not to stay there. Her mission was to remain here, with her family, to bring the light from that heavenly realm to the people she loved. She understood that every smile, every encouraging word, every act of love toward her family was how she brought a piece of heaven to them. She would never abandon her loved ones. Instead, she would continue her mission of love in this world. Lily gazed into Mark's eyes and then at their children, and in that moment, she felt a strong sense of belief and determination. While heaven was a beautiful place, she knew that this life with all its love and care was also an essential part of the mission she had to fulfill. After going through such deep and moving moments, Lily realized that her mission was not over, it had only just begun. She became an inspiration for those suffering and feeling hopeless, for those whose lives seemed to have no escape. Every time she saw someone struggling with sorrow, she would find a way to share her story, the story of a beautiful paradise and the eternal peace she had experienced. She didn't just want them to hear it, she wanted them to feel the unwavering faith that she carried within her. Lily understood that, no matter how difficult, painful, or challenging this life might be, beyond the door of departure, there is a beautiful heaven, a place where there is no more pain, no more loss. It is a place filled with light and peace, where every soul will find rest in love and endless protection. She spoke of the mystical sensations she felt when entering heaven, the marvelous things she had seen, and the comforting, loving words that Jesus had shared with her. She talked about the peace, harmony, and unconditional love she experienced, which made all the worries and fears of the earthly world seem insignificant. Not only did she help those she encountered, but Lily also became a symbol of hope for the community. People who once felt abandoned, those who thought life no longer held any meaning, found renewed faith and strength in her story. They began to believe that this life, though filled with challenges, was not the end, but a part of a grand journey with a sacred purpose ahead. More importantly, they understood that after this life, they would never truly be separated from those they loved, for they would reunite in heaven. Lily lived with the conviction that she was carrying a light into this world, a light that could not be extinguished by darkness or hardship. She became a guide, showing those who were lost the way to hope and love. And no matter how tough life became, she always believed that at the end of the road, a beautiful heaven awaited. With the help and unconditional love of Jesus Christ, Lily gradually became a guide for those seeking faith in life. She not only brought the light from heaven but also helped those around her feel the boundless love of God. Every day, she shared her story, recounting the miraculous things she had witnessed and felt, thereby lighting a spark of hope for those living in the darkness of despair. Heaven was no longer a distant concept for Lily and the people she met. She understood that heaven was not just some far-off place to wait for after leaving this world. Heaven was a profound belief in the soul, a place where love, forgiveness, and peace were always present in every moment of daily life. She taught everyone that every act of kindness, every loving gesture, every smile, and every sincere word could be a part of heaven right here, in the everyday life. Lily inspired others not just with words, but through the love in her heart. She always knew how to listen, share, and lift the spirits of those in pain. Whenever someone came to her in times of difficulty, Lily would not hesitate to reach out, ready to offer help and provide the comfort they needed. She never forgot that it was in those moments that she truly felt the presence of heaven close, real, and tangible, where love was the only source of strength. The people around Lily began to realize that the peace and light she brought were not just empty words. They saw that by living with faith and love, life became filled with meaning and tranquility. Heaven was not a distant place that could only be seen with the eyes, but a state of the soul that could be lived every day, every moment, every second. She was a living testament to a world where love and peace could fill every space, a world where everyone could find comfort and hope even in the greatest of challenges. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope that the story of the woman and the miraculous things Jesus opened her eyes to see brings you faith and comfort about eternal life. If you found this story meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future videos. Please share this video with your loved ones so we can spread hope and love together. Thank you again, and see you in the next video.